Unscripted.
Microsoft has been a little bit too quiet lately, and that's not really sitting too well with a lot of Xbox fans. What are they going to do? What are they going to change? What kind of things are they going to announce? Well, we did get some information from one Jeff Grubb, and I'm going to share some of that with you because I felt like this was really some cool stuff that they talked about. And when it comes down to it, I think people are tired of hearing about like acquisitions and things like that. They more or less are now to the point where they want to hear about the games themselves, and the games themselves are always going to be the most important thing when it comes to video game consoles. We keep seeing games get announced, but yet we haven't really had a ton of them actually release on Xbox so far. It looks like we're going to be getting some more of these games announced here soon, and it does seem like what I've been saying is going to happen before too long. And what I mean by that is, I said probably 2023 would be the year that we start to see a lot of these games actually come to fruition for Xbox. And I'm not some kind of insider or anything like that, but basically what it comes down to is the fact that these games and these developers, the way that they were working on them, how busy they were, you could just kind of tell that it was going to take until a certain time. And now we get to see that, hey, this certain time was going to be like 2023, somewhere along that time. So yeah, for me, I think that it makes a lot of sense. But I do want to get into this announcement, though, this sort of leak, this information that Jeff has kind of put out there, and talk about it, because I felt like it's definitely something that a lot of people are going to be excited for. So let's get into it. Hey there, everybody. What's up? It's me, Crap Gamer, and this is Crap Gamer Reviews, your home for gaming news, opinions, reviews, and much more. You might notice some changes around here, but that shouldn't stop you from leaving us a like and possibly even consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Thank you guys very much. Now, I know how busy everybody is, and I know how busy you are with your family, friends, work, all that kind of stuff. So it means a lot when you guys stop by here and like the videos and stuff like that. So thank you guys very much. Now, when speaking about what we could be seeing at E3 2022, Jeff Grubb talked about some different things, and mostly, and this was pretty cool, he actually talked about Perfect Dark gameplay that could be showcased at E3 2022, roughly a year and a half after the official announcements at the Game Awards in 2020, according to Grubb. He talked about that and more during a latest episode of an Xbox podcast when he was asked whether 2023 projects like Avowed, Perfect Dark, Contraband, now Hellblade 2, and some others were still on track, and we would have to see exactly what happens going forward. He said, and I quote, "I don't know for sure. I know that internally that the tracker that they have to say like when are our projects like expected to come out based on what we know right now, all of those games at that point were on track for 2023. Now, I think we can safely assume that's not going to be the case for Everwild. I think it's very likely maybe at least half of those games might get bumped into 2024. Perfect Dark probably could come out in 2023, but could easily get delayed into 2024. But I think we'll probably get Avowed, we'll probably get Perfect Dark. I mean, at that point, they will be close to like 5 full years of development on many of these projects. So it's getting to the point where that stuff could happen. Now, if they need to delay stuff, they will. I think we'll have a much better idea, though, in just a couple of months when we get to that E3 time frame. They will definitely spend a lot of time on Starfield. They will probably spend a lot of time on Redfall as well, and then Forza Motorsport 8, but then they're going to have a lot of room to talk about, okay, like here's what we're going to be in 2023, and here's the games to talk about will likely be games that you're going to be getting in 2023. I expect to get gameplay of Perfect Dark and stuff like that at that point. For the record, Grubb may not always be right with his predictions and leak, but he did reveal that Microsoft's first-party studio, The Initiative, would be working on a new Perfect Dark game. And a few months ago, we learned that Microsoft also enlisted the help of Crystal Dynamics, the studio behind the Tomb Raider reboot trilogy. Not much is known about the title other than it's an eco-sci-fi thriller theme, but that may change in a few months. Until then, we don't really know, but you could probably expect to see something maybe from Fable along the line as well. I think that's something that a lot of people are waiting to see exactly what we're going to be seeing with that in the future. And again, we're just starting to hit the kind of tip of the iceberg when it comes to what Microsoft has announced. They have all these studios. People don't really realize it, but they have all these studios, and most of these studios have multiple teams working on multiple games. So who knows what we're going to see in the future. I mean, we did get some announcements, stuff like Contraband, but yet we haven't seen any gameplay for that yet. We haven't seen any gameplay for Fable. We haven't seen any gameplay for State of Decay 3. We haven't seen any gameplay for Forza Motorsport 8 or whatever the title's going to be. Supposedly the Coalition is working on something new. We haven't seen anything from Indiana Jones. We haven't seen anything from mostly anything that's been announced or even rumored. So I would expect that we start to get some of these kind of announcements and stuff pretty soon. But the fact that he's talking about, hey, you know, we're probably going to see some Perfect Dark footage at E3 this year, I think that's amazing. I think that's pretty awesome. And, you know, again, if you want to go back to what my words were even years ago when people said that I was a fearmonger, I said pretty clearly, I said, you know what, listen, just judging by what these studios are doing right now, we're at a particular point where, you know, these games probably aren't going to come out until 2023 or so. Of course, nobody could have predicted the pandemic or anything like that, but it's pretty obvious that Microsoft obviously you know, is letting these studios kind of do what they want and kind of work at their own pace. And if there are going to be delays, then there's going to be delays. Who knows? But I still think that next year is going to be the first year where we get that 4 big AAA releases from Microsoft. What those AAA releases could be, I don't really know, but I would definitely say look for something like Avowed, look for something like Hellblade 2. I don't think we're going to get the big 4 this year, but I still think, you know, Redfall, Starfield, and Forza Motorsport are going to be 3 pretty big AAA games and pretty big releases this year as well. I mean, obviously you're going to have to mix in some third-party stuff. You're going to have to mix in some you know, some smaller stuff, from some Game Pass stuff, some third-party stuff. But yeah, you know, I think that what they're doing is, you know, pretty admirable, and you know, they have a good slate coming, and that's something that I think a lot of people probably aren't really talking much about, but I still think that what they're doing and what they're showcasing is going to be tremendous. And you know, obviously they have a lot of work to do and a lot to prove to people, especially people that are, like, you know, used to what Sony's doing. But at the end of the day, you know, I think that they're doing a fantastic job with their announcements and everything that they've managed to kind of put out there. And you know, Sony is going to continue to do what they do best, and that's put out great games. And you know, fans are going to continue to kind of flock to that. But I still think Microsoft belongs in the genre. They belong in video games, and they're doing a good job. And I think that, you know, they're going to get past that point where they're going to prove everybody kind of wrong that doubted them, including myself. You know, listen, I was pretty pissed off what they were doing for a while there, and you know, I've kind of come a long way from that point. But at the end of the day, you know, I still feel like even when they start releasing games, they're going to have these games that are kind of ready to go, and they're going to have to be really high quality. They can't just release, you know, low quality stuff. So, you know, I'm excited by what the future's has in store for Microsoft. This is going to be a big start to it. I can't wait to see what they have for E3, because it's put up or shut up time, to be honest with you. So let me know what you guys think. I will link this in the description below. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. Crap Gamer out.